Hi, you guys. This is Rachel here, the Modern Shaman. Thanks for being with me for another YouTube video of the week. As always, I would love to recommend that you get connected to this channel, subscribe to it, share it with friends, like, comment, as well as check out my website if you haven't been there in a while. It's themodernshaman.net, and there are a lot of wonderful resources for any of you guys that would like to connect with me personally or be involved in any of my teaching curriculum and master classes. Also, we are getting closer and closer to our solstice event, which is next week. If you guys would love to join me, I am hosting a winter solstice event here in my house through a drumming circle for clearing, and then we're bringing in one of my previous students that I mentored, and now she has her own business through sound healing. But I worked with her for years as a client, and she did my master classes and trained and then became a professional. She is also a shaman and a sound healer. So she's going to be here ringing the gongs, and we're going to do a gong solstice alignment under the stars right when the solstice is here, which in Texas is around 9:30, like 9:27 in the evening. And we're going to be in the heated pool with an alignment with the water and using that as an amplifier. So it is going to be a powerful time of really just unity and the consciousness in the hearts of those that have a desire to truly empower and grow our species on this planet. So if you're interested in that, send an email to the Modern Shaman email at gmail.com. You can go to my website and it will also connect you to send an email to me, or you can send a notification through my website. There's a lot of ways to kind of connect, either via email or on the website, which will send me an email, and you can ask about more details for that event. Obviously, I'm not giving out my address on here in the video, but if you would like to join us, just reach out. We'll get you the information that you might need to prepare for that. Okay, let's move on to the question of the day. Okay, this one says, "Hi Rachel, thank you so much for your channel. I am also psychic, but I still learn so much from your videos. I was wondering why I often see my clients as children when I see them through my clairvoyant visions. Even if they are asking me to do a reading on their current relationship, current boyfriend, or husband, I may see a vision of them and their partner at a younger time in their life with younger faces. I never know when it's going to happen in a reading, but it always kind of surprises me. I wondered if you could help me understand if this is a past life or them when they were younger, or what. I value your expertise. Thank you and God bless you." Okay, yeah. So this is a beautiful question because one, I also do this all the time. So you're not alone. And I would say bravo that you're doing a good job, because this is a multidimensional layer that Spirit is bringing in and also speaking more information to you through your readings. When we see our clients through our clairvoyance and they have a different face than their soul does, who's sitting in front of us or on the Zoom call or something like this. So it's not always the same scenario when you're reading, but I can give you some examples. One of which is oftentimes the message that Spirit is sending when these are relationship readings, okay? And I have this happen all the time, that when someone's asking about a relationship and I tune into or energy meld with their partner, oftentimes I move into the age at which the emotional issue or the relational dynamic is present or happened. So this is like an inner child issue. And sometimes I will have that person present and they will be like their 8-year-old self. And the communication that Spirit is giving you at that time in the reading is that that partner is literally interacting from an emotional state of an 8-year-old. And whatever issue that may be that they're talking about, or whatever, why they asked about that relationship, that is the emotional level in which that person is engaging. And I can literally, if I see the face that's really young, I can just ask, at what age is this? Is this the emotional maturity? What issue is this talking about? Is there something traumatic that happened? Continue with the questioning, because Spirit is giving you information that's very particular to that age. Oftentimes when we're doing readings, it's easy to miss something like this because there's so much information that comes in from Spirit all at once. And in these multidimensional layers, as the practitioner, we kind of pick apart, and after many years of doing it, we get used to the messages within the messages. And when you receive the vision, it's not just about the vision. There are multi-layers there within it that can drive the reading even further and deeper on behalf of your client. So my suggestion to you would be, when that arises, to go further with your questioning of that spirit, that soul that you're connecting with. Is this their inner child? Is this their emotional level of maturity? And ask further questions. You'll intuitively know when you are in that connection with higher guidance and receive direct information. But if you're clairaudient, you may literally hear more kind of verifying evidence for that. Also, when you ask that question, it's not uncommon when I'm in a session to then see what trauma or what stunted their growth emotionally at that age. So I may see him at age 8 and say, wow, your husband or your wife is literally acting on the age of an 8-year-old. There's a lot of where they're defensive about little things, or they are kind of like, you hit me, I hit you. You hurt me, I hurt you. This kind of back and forth. This is a very childlike emotional maturity. And even younger, I've had some that were like toddlers, like literally it shifts into a phase, and I'll see little pigtails and they look like they're toddling around, and I'll ask what happened here, and then I'll see some emotional trauma, and that child will have maybe some abandonment issues. Maybe their parents divorced at that age, or they were left, or someone died. And there's a lot of like, this is mine, this is me, this is mine, don't take it away from me. And these issues come up and they show up in the relational dynamics. So it's really insightful when you are doing a reading like this, when you see an aged face that seems to be particular to a certain demographic or group of ages or issues, that you go further with your questioning. What happened here at this age? And how does this play into this relationship now? I'll also ask that question oftentimes when I see this, like, so how does this dynamic affect their relationship now? Like, why is it showing up? Why is that person's face shifting into their childlike nature? And then often I'll see the same thing. I'll see them, I'll see, say for instance, the husband, and he is his 56-year-old self. And then I'll see the wife, and she's like the toddler. And she's saying, mine, like, don't take this away from me. This is mine, you can't. And so she's still engaging in that emotional manner. I'm just using those examples, but there are many ways in which our emotional maturity shows up in relationships. You asked about a past life, and I would say, yes, this can also come up. And the telltale way to kind of differentiate between if this is a past life or is this them in this life is the clothing. Because it'll be specific to a certain era, or it will feel out of place. If they look like Little House on the Prairie, or it just looks very plain, or the colors feel more subdued. A lot of times I will just look at the feet. I'll just kind of move my third eye or my vision and direct my consciousness to look at the feet. And the shoes will often tell you. It will tell you culturally too, like what culture it seems like they're a part of. It's a very quick identifier. And then once you notice the shoes, you can ask further questions of spirit. Don't forget, when information comes into you as a reader, it is conversational. Just like if someone is sitting down in front of you at a coffee shop, okay? They may give you information about how their day went, but depending on what they say about their day, you have follow-up questions. Well, how did that make you feel? Well, do you feel like that's going to happen again in the future? Whatever it may be. You also have follow-up questions when you engage with the non-physical realm for information. It is conversational. You are hearing this and can engage in a very active way of finding out more information. So often when we are beginning in our readings as a practitioner, we kind of do it like a download, right? Like, here's the information I get, I'm going to give it to you. Instead of a conversation that unfolds very naturally and intimately between spirit and our client. And we kind of become the spokesperson to pull out, much like a counselor would do, right? If you're sitting there with them and they begin sharing emotional information, the counselor helps you to become more vulnerable, to open up, to engage more, to look deeper at yourself and what you really want to know, what you really want to do or get clarity on. And so oftentimes this is true when we're speaking with spirit as well. I want to say one other thing, and that is sometimes guides come to us in their childlike nature. And oftentimes this is if you are doing mediumship or if you are doing channeling or translating for higher self or guides, then sometimes we will see the guides of our clients or ourselves and they personify as children. And this is oftentimes when there are inner child issues, when there have been things that still need to be healed, that still need an energy from spirit to be soothing and actively loving and caring and nurturing to that aspect, that fractured aspect of our soul. And when our spirit guides initiate that energy, it brings it out in us. And so our inner child kind of interacts with this childlike nature of childlike spirit guides. And it can be very healing to those who have had trauma in their life, this lifetime or a past lifetime that was as a child. So oftentimes I see that as well. And you can always differentiate with the higher guidance. The guide, even as a child, there is an awareness in your claircognizance, right? Your knowing psychic ability that this is how my guide is choosing to show itself. And so there's wisdom in this. This is also a deeper message of why that I'm needing this type of energy for myself, that my soul is needing to lighten up, to look at my childhood self, to bring this aspect out of myself more, and to engage with those inner child aspects of the self for a deeper inner child healing. So I hope that was beneficial to you guys. I'm going to sign off here. We'll be back here next week with another video. Stay tuned.